Conversations with halos is kind of tilted. The foundation is strong because Jehovah built it. You can feel the spirit and positive energy. Questions asked comfortably like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
What's really going on? What's really going on?
Introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
All right. Welcome again to Unhinged Live. We are so appreciative that you joined us tonight. And as you can see from our Brady Bunch look over here, the tribe is in the building, and we are happy not only to welcome you, and saying a quick shout out to our replay viewers who couldn't get us live and in time, but is going to enjoy the Joy Tsunami even the more whenever you press play. So listen, we got a jam-packed conversation and night of Joy Tsunami planned for you. So we're going to get right into it. I'm driving today, y'all. That's all we're going to say on that. I'm driving today. So before I pull us all the way out, I want to just go around and say hello, but I'm going to start with Captain. Oh, Captain, how you doing over there, tilted in the cut today? While we already, I'm going to apologize in advance, tilted, because we are going to act up today. It's going to happen. And so I just feel in my shana now that you probably are going to be a part of the shenanigans. I'm just saying. But before we get started, I'm going to ask the question that you always ask me and say, how you doing? How are you doing?
Nobody tell me nothing. I'm blessed. Hey, blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Ooh, I'm blessed. I'm sorry, y'all know I was rocking out to a little Pastor Mike Jr. So I guess that sums it up. I'm blessed, and I pray that every last one of you are too. I can imagine that you are, because I'm able to lay my eyes on you. You are still here with me on this side of heaven. So y'all blessed too. I had a good day. Got no complaints. I'm looking forward to tonight's conversation. Now back to you, Karen.
Awesome. Love it. You know, we got to do our quick round robin just to check the temperature in the room before we get started with some of our other segments. But want to turn it over. Rhonda Thomas Booth. I feel like I got to say the whole name. How are you doing this evening?
Hi, Karen. And that's funny because one of my coworkers, she will not call me Rhonda. From day one when I met her, Rhonda Thomas Booth. That's how she rolls it off. She was like, it just sounds so like an author. So I have to say the whole name. Okay. So I get it. It's okay. It's all right. I'll take it. I know, blessed, thankful, grateful, all the fulls that you can imagine. That's me right now. I'm prayerful. And prayerful. So all the fulls is what I'm experiencing right now. And I am just like in a place where I am content and happy. And like I said, all the gratefuls. I'm being prayerful today. I know we're going to go through other stuff throughout the show, but just being prayerful. Because my phone is going off here like every couple of minutes with updates and alerts, but being prayerful.
Amen. Amen. Marisol, shooting it over to you. How are you doing?
Oh my goodness. So I'm like on cloud 9 times triple. I don't know. It's been a really, really good season. Even though things are going on in the world, I'm staying grounded in my faith. And I think that that's what's just helping me get through everything. And being in that environment. That's it. Pray, like Rhonda said, prayerful, watchful, prayerful, blessed, grateful, and getting prepared for the next season, the next thing.
I love it. I love it. Bliv, how things in your world, brother?
Everything's peachy, baby.
All right, all right. Shelby, how are you? Icon extraordinaire. I'm just putting it out there.
Well, thank you so very much. Everything's wonderful. I've been quiet and still and reflecting and filled with gratitude and joy.
Love that. Love that. There's a lot that comes out of those times too. So yeah, okay, good stuff. Jackie, we're gonna let you close it out this circle round. How are you doing?
Good. Every time somebody asks me that, I'm like, I'm booked and busy. I've been booked and busy. Okay. I ain't mad at it though. I ain't mad at it. I've been booked and busy. So, and it's showing no signs of stopping, but that's okay. Like I'm not mad at it though. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Just booked and busy.
I love that. I love that. You know, I'm kind of coming off a booked and busy, so I'm excited and grateful to be able to sit down somewhere. How about that, right? Like in between things, it's like we get excited about all of the different things that go on, but you know, Shelby, as you said, like being able to be quiet and be reflective and take those moments that we created, right, and just experience them and know where to put things in different places. So definitely praying for all of our family, friends, loved ones that are experiencing so many challenges right now. Like we've got weather challenges on the horizon. We're keeping Jamaica in prayer, also still keeping Puerto Rico in prayer. But, you know, all of these, when we think about the seasons and hurricanes and all of the things that can bring harm, that's a loaded sentence all in itself. It reminds us, if we are those folks, to stay prayed up for that specific reason, because there's always something either right in our face or right around the corner, right? So appreciate. I just feel zen coming through the room today. So we're gonna see. We probably gonna stir it up before the evening comes. I'm just saying. But I love that we're starting off right with that zen and very reflective and grateful. But appreciate the check-ins from everybody. So listen, it's been a week's time since the last time we got together, and we got together for a grand celebration, aka known as Interstar Awards. And so we were able to get together because we were nominated in one of the categories, right, as a group for media. And then we had Shelby nominated in the fashion area, and then we had clap it up for that, and then we had Rhonda also in the model category. And so we were well represented in the building, and so super excited about just the evening and the way that it took. And so I did give a little bit of assignment, right, because we had a couple of things. So first one, for those of you who stepped in the room and were able to experience the genius that came forth through the Interstar. Listen, I got a whole book with a whole bunch of stuff. There's some familiar faces in here. We got our own Marisol in here with Girl Talk Nails, and was able. And you know, when they give you these things, I know I wasn't the only one who was like, well, I'm just flipping through to see, you know, who all sponsored the event. And then there we see Girl Talk Nails. Listen, live and in full effect, right? Can we get we can get our nail clap on? I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, Marisol, I'm just gonna kick this over to you really quickly, because I know you've been working so hard this year on so many different things. Can you talk to us about this leg of your journey, right? And how this all came about that you said, I'm gonna be a part of that. Like, this is in everybody's living room now. Can I just say that? Like, literally in everybody's living room. How does that feel to be that person? So you in North Carolina, you in Georgia, you in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, all of the states that were represented. Like,
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I'm going to say all the credit and all the glory goes to God first. And then, oh my God. So this leg of my journey came about because, someone said zip code and area code. And I thought to myself, okay, we're going to make that happen. How do we make that happen? And though through prayer, supplication, okay, because I had to give up a few things like, your ego and all that other stuff. It came about that I said, you know what, I have to make an investment in myself. And the first rule of marketing, okay, so the first rule of marketing is people have to know that you exist. Well, how do people know you exist? Pay for advertisements. Go ahead and pay for the advertisement. Invest in yourself, invest in what you believe in, and put it out there and manifest it. After you've done your prayer and you put it on paper and you invest it, now you gotta, walk the walk and talk it and have your environment set up, the way you need it to be for that advertisement to work for you. And somebody also said that you just need to just be. So, just be yourself, just be authentic. And I think that the way you treat people and how you are speaks volumes. And so you're gonna wind up in all those spaces that you thought you could never ever be. You're gonna wind up there. It comes back to you. And you have to be prepared. You make that investment, save your money. Like, do I invest in this or do I buy those shoes? Do I invest in this or do I sometimes you have to pull back a little bit and say, you know what, I'm going to invest. And then you can't go wrong when you invest in your community. It's going to come back to you.
I love it. Okay, listen, you've said a mouthful with all of that right there. Listen, because maybe you didn't get to Interstar, maybe you don't have this magazine or this ad, but I want to read a little bit about the ad because it really speaks volumes. It says, stop wishing, start flaunting. That's message number one, right? Your hands are always speaking. What are they saying? That's message number two, right? We got so many nuggets in here. First of all, it's not even just an ad. You could go somewhere and see some pretty pictures of some nails, right? And you'd be like, oh, great, girl talk nail. That is so nice. But there's so many messages in the nuggets that you shared here. We deliver flawless, long-lasting results using only premium. Come on, taking care of ourselves. It says, Girl Talks Nails LLC is not just a destination for manicures. It's the epicenter of nail artistry and self-expression. And I feel that because I'm not only, what do I say? I not only know you, Marisol, but I'm also a client. So I've had that experience. So, one thing we're going to do over here, we're always going to support and big up all of the work that each of us are doing. But I just could not start the Interstar Awards conversation and not put that honorable mention out there for all of the amazing work. So if you were able to be there and maybe you didn't get a chance just yet to go through and see who all were the supporters and sponsors of this more than a community event, right? So it started out as a community event, but now it literally is global as some of these awards are going across the water to different places, definitely not just the Lehigh Valley, but across the nation as well. So kudos to you for all of the work that you have done. I want to shoot over to one of our other nominees nominees, Rhonda Thomas Booth, that part right there. I'll get it out my system before the night, I promise. Rhonda, how was the experience of being nominated received by you?
Surreal. I think going through all the motions, getting the votes, and um, just seeing myself actually on that screen, I think that's when it really hit like, oh my God, you're in this group of all these beautiful people. And was I the oldest? I think I was the oldest model. So that's the part that always gets me. That always gets me when I first started, when I went back into modeling, and I put my name on the paper and I saw that paper, I was like, oh my God, I'm the oldest model here. That freaked me out. That freaked me out. And then to be actually amongst all these people, it felt really good. It felt like, okay, I should be here. I should be here. And it was just amazing. I think I wanted to share that moment with my daughter because even though, yes, I was nominated, it's great to be nominated because you were in the group of greats. And that's what I saw. Like I was amongst these beautiful and fabulous models. And I wanted my daughter to see in the end the takeaway. If I won, if I didn't want, it was just an amazing feeling to be in that room. And it was just a great experience. It was a really great, this is my third Star attending twice. Well, last year we got nominated, but for me individually getting nominated, it was a really, I was looking back and I'm like, I can't believe this. When Marisol was doing my nails, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, this little Bajan girl left Barbados at 17 years old with everything behind her and just looking forward. And as I look forward and I look forward again, to be sitting there and Shelby's across from me and I'm looking at my dress and I'm like, this is a moment. So I was kind of quiet because I was in my head and I'm thinking like, look where I came from to where I am now.
Beautiful.
And I wanted to cry, but then something inside me just switched and it was just like gratitude because you could have not been here the many times that your life, the life now that you have, you couldn't have that. So every time I think back in that sense, I'm like just thankful. So as I was there sitting on my head, I was praying. I'm there praying, and it was just being thankful. And when my name wasn't announced, I said, God, thank you for even bringing me here. And I wanted, like I said, I really wanted to share that moment with my daughter because it meant something special for me to show her that even though you didn't win, you walk away with your head held high. And when you have people like a tribe around you, it doesn't even feel like it didn't feel like anything after that. So it was just a really good feeling, Karen. And I wouldn't say I would like to, it's something that you can't repeat. It's like it happened and then it's going to be better. Because every time you do something, it gets grow. Like the year I took it for Nikita when I went it for her. And then last year again. So I feel like every year it builds and it gets better.
Love it.
So yeah, thank you.
I love that. I love that. All right. And we coming to one of our other nominees, fashion icon, just wisdom nugget extraordinaire. I promise. I feel like the gift for us was being able to share space with you, Shelby, over the whole time. So that made us winners all around. But can you talk to us about your nomination, being nominated in the fashion category, and also, putting a little plug? Did we do you proud with walking around in our Lawson accessories, Shelby Lawson ensembles? Everybody else was wearing clothes. We had ensembles.
I want to start out by saying thank you guys for trusting me with the decision to go green, and not in the universal term, but to go green. If you looked out among out into the crowd. In many of the pictures, the green was just there. Your green was the light for everybody to see the work that Lawson Accessories has done and continues to do. So to be in a room with a room full of creative people and to be acknowledged, because the win is not about the physical manifestation of a trophy. The win is when you are up late at night. The win is when you're not sure if this is the path that you're to take, even though God led you there. The win is saying yes to your vision. The win is saying, thank you, God, for going ahead of me and opening those doors for me. Because the trophy, how special it is, the win comes before all of that. And so for that, I'm grateful for whoever the person was who nominated me, for everyone who took time out of their busy schedules to go online and vote. For you guys again for trusting me with the vision. None of you guys sent me any measurements. And you trusted my creative brain to just try to do it. And I truly am blessed with the gift of that. And so that is part of the win also, knowing that your gifting comes directly from Him. It's not about a physical piece of something that's going to collect dust. It's about all of those late nights wondering and hoping and praying and crying and looking for your supporters and trying to find your tribe. Those are the wins. So I am very, very grateful for being nominated in many, many spaces that I've been in. But at the end of the day, God's already been in those spaces. He has already walked those steps that I have walked in line with him, the footprints in the sand. He's already gone before us. All we have to do is be ready. I am always ready with fabric. I am always ready with visions. I am always ready. The other day I posted, and I know I'm going a little longer, but the other day I posted, even in my strengthen and stretch with Shelby business, be ready. I already have a whole gym in my home. And if someone says, Shelby, I'd like to work with you to get this body toned, I'm there. I'm ready. So again, the win is not what is defined in the ending. The win is the journey, getting to the place of nomination and acknowledgement by your peers.
That's beautiful. See,
So
listen,
With
now
wisdom.
you all understand and see
mm,
why we say spending time with you, Shelby, is just is a wonderful experience, right? Just because you're genuine, you're real, you love and laughter, and you fill up a
mhm.
room. So we were super excited, one, to represent you, but also
Thank you.
to be a part of everything that went on for the week. Now listen, for those of you who've been riding with us, you know we had the mint trial, and all is well in tribe land. But this year, right, we made sure that there would be no question about who was getting mints, how the mints was going on. And so you gotta love it when we walk through the door with our own minted mints. Okay, the Unhinged Tribe Live minted mints. So if you don't know about it, come ask somebody about it. Everybody had their mints. Jackie, please, where y'all mints at? Like we did this for y'all. Where y'all?
I ate them.
I love
I
it.
had, I had to
Really,
use them that night. It was a long night. It was a long night.
we really were eating our mint. So you know, I just love, and one of the things that stood out to me was we always are gonna do our best to have fun when we're together. We don't exclude anybody. I love
Wait,
it.
we had no idea that those mints were going to benefit Bliv.
Ah,
No,
Look at him.
I got good
We
mints.
had no idea that he was going to be the recipient. Um, I'm so happy
Yes,
for our
Liv.
brother. But yes, those mints came in handy, didn't they, Bliff?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
ah,
For sure. Liv,
ah.
can you share with us just a little bit about the vibe that was there as we were like just all together sharing space again?
You say who, me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
my bad. No, I just love being around the tribe. For anybody who has never had the opportunity to be around all the different personalities that we have, you're missing out. I mean, because every single one of us could have their own sitcom and be the star of their own sitcom, but together we're just like a supreme unit. Um, that's pretty much it's just like a big family fun. You know,
Love
we
it.
all put God first, but we all like to
Yeah.
engage in some shenanigans and laughter. So if you're around us, like I said, you're just gonna have a good old time and be embraced like you're a part of the family as long as you ain't acting up.
That as long as you're not acting up, right? There might be cereal. I'm gonna bring cereal next time, Bliv. That's all I'm gonna say for that. Next year we gonna
Hilarious.
have cereal. We gonna
So
have
we
Oh
doing
my
cereal.
God.
cereal.
All right, Jackie, I gotta ask you because okay, for those of you who don't know, usually one of us have to be assigned to Jackie because the big secret is where did we last see her? Okay, 'cause sometimes be like, "Where's Jackie? I don't know."
He disappeared.
I did disappearing, like literally a whole disappearing act. But
Yeah.
I didn't see you disappearing too much this year, Jackie. You know
Exactly.
how did the evening go for you?
The evening went well. Like, I had me, I think if we got to talk about, like one show to another, like last year was my first time going, and thoroughly enjoyed the experience. But I think moving it to the Archer Hall kind of like bumped it up with the experience for me. And I ain't gonna say that the bar being right there kept me in my seat. But I'm gonna say the bar was right there, and I may or may not have gotten up a couple times and went there, and it came and sat back down and mind my business. But I'm just saying it wasn't a bad idea, So that may or may not have kept me in my seat or closer to my seat because there was some motivation there. It wasn't too far away.
So the translation is the change in venue and the beauty that was surrounding you made it. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because I literally only saw you in like that 100-foot kind of where is she? Right there,
Right
right
there.
there,
I ain't go
right
far.
there. That is true.
I ain't go far, Karen. And the
I mean,
atmosphere was good. Like it was, I think it was a little more upbeat, the entertainment was good, which is always good, but the entertainment was good, it was just ever so slightly more captivating, and I enjoyed it. And not to say I didn't before, but I'm known, like you said, to, wander. If I'm left to my own devices too long, I got to go find something else to go do. So I think that they did a good job keeping me in my seat this year. That's all I'm
keeping
gonna
you
say about
engaged. That's what we're gonna say. They kept you engaged for the evening. For the
that.
evening.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Any other thoughts? I know as we celebrate in the Star Wars. Yes, Tilty. What
Girl,
we
I
we
gotta
gotta
put this
talk
first
about your
thing up.
extraordinary performance, right? The rest of us attended. One of us performed. Maybe you could tell as you give your shout outs, tell a little bit about your performance.
All right. Let me give you a little bit of snippet about the performance. See, what had happened was I was there early. And I was walking around because, I like to walk through the atmosphere and feel things out. And I just happened to run on over during the sound check. And shout out to our brother, Elijah Daquan. I greeted him. And he just said to me, "What, you want to be in the show? You want to be in the performance with me tonight?" And then I said, "Sure. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to sing? Do you want me to model? Whatever it is you need, I got you." So he told me he wanted me to model because we've experienced that with him. So all I'm thinking was like, Lord, I got this beautiful long dress. Um, I don't want to trip on it and do Lost and Accessories a terrible disservice in front of the entire Interstar Trailblazer community. So their panic set in. I know y'all saw me in my head because I was like, Lord, when is he going up? I gotta fix this dress. I gotta practice walking on this stage with these shoes, with this dress. And shout out to take TT, Interstar Model of the Year winner. She held your girl down, Shelby. I have to tell you, she grabbed the safety pin and she made me a little pocket, a pick 'em up pocket, so I could pick up the dress daintily as I went out there. Honey, she saved the day, or I would have been glowworm on the floor for real in that green. So that was a suddenly moment for me on a Trailblazer evening. I did not expect to hit that stage at all. But to be a part of Alaji's performance was just mind blowing. We often joke that I tend to be a backup dancer in many situations, but I was one of the walking models. Walk for me, walk for me. It was an experience, and I'm grateful. Karen, that was your phone that caught the video?
It was, yeah, video credit.
Girl, you caught that thing because I was like, what did I do? Everybody telling me I killed it. I was like, I don't know. I just walked and did what I know how to do. But thank you for carrying that, capturing that moment, Karen. I now have a memento of my moment with my brother on an even larger stage. I wanted to interject here and give a huge shout out. This is this week's Superfan shout out. Sorry. To our brother DJ Zeem. Can we clap it up? DJ of the year. DJ of the year. I got to give a huge acknowledgement to DJ Zeem and his whole camp, his beautiful wife, Kayla, Sister Barbie in the clique. Shout out to Sammy, the Iron Mule. And not only will I shout out the Iron Mule, I got to shout out the R Bar. They held us down all the way down when the power went out at our original planned karaoke party. It was windy over here in the northeastern Pennsylvania area, and some wires had went down, so the electricity went out over at the Mule. See, we ain't post all of that. What happened was Shaq was contacted by DJ Zeem. DJ Zeem asked if we could host the karaoke night over at the R Bar. So I'm grateful that we have a reputation of excellence, and Shaq actually refers to us as the superstars of the Lehigh Valley. I'm grateful that we were able to relocate that quickly, and that Shaq opened his doors, and that when I called Shaq to say thank you, he told me, don't thank me, thank Zeem. And I'm not going to tell you what he said after that because it may be too live for this particular broadcast. But yeah, shout out to DJ Zeem. You're doing an awesome thing.
Holding us down.
Doing an awesome thing. And you definitely keep my feet on the floor, busting the 2-step, 4-step, 8-step. I got my boots on the ground because of you, brother. And I really appreciate you and the family style entertainment you are bringing. You're in many, many circles. You go through many, many doors. But one thing I know about you, my brother, is you are absolutely consistent in being the man you say you are. So I want to give a huge shout out, not only from myself, but I believe I'm speaking for the entire tribe. We love you, brother. We appreciate you. And we look forward to celebrating that much more. Zeem and I actually got to celebrate our birthdays this year together. So yeah, that's extended tribe. So, when you see us, you don't see Zeem and them too far off from us, because we really do enjoy vibing out with our tribe when we're not off somewhere being fabulous. How about that? So yeah, Interstar was an experience this year, and I got to wear my favorite color, green. Thank you, Shelby.
Love it, love it, love it. We all got some green to pull out, to make sure we stay on trend. I think that was one of the biggest things that we saw a lot of. Of course, we know we do that. We know that's what we do. But to see how much green, like that is the color of the season, that we're seeing everywhere. And so y'all know we not only try to stay on brand, we are fashion forward, usually in our thinking, but it doesn't always pan out the way that we think in our head. And so all of the pictures, everything that we were able to see, and even the tribe coming together, just is an amazing testament to us being amazing. Okay, there you go. I'll be humble later. To us being amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, while we take mints from our mint, also giving a shout out to Jacinth Headlam. We gave some kudos to her last week, but keeping those going because there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that still needed to continue, right? So while we were like, okay, the show is done and we're going to go ahead on to the next thing, she had to make sure everything was still good at the Archer. Why? So that they invite us back for other things next year, but definitely an amazing space. Elevation and uplifting is what we've seen throughout the year. And so the Interstar Award Show definitely allowed us to have appropriate space to continue that trend on there. So appreciate the recaps. Y'all get sick of us. We got more pictures. I just blame Shelby. She found them somewhere. We got more pictures. And so round 3, I think we might be on by now. There's another set of pictures that we'll be sharing more of because it's worth celebrating, right? Life and having these moments are an amazing opportunity to celebrate one another, to celebrate the family bond that we have, and just to be able to work together and grow together as a tribe. Love it, love it, love it. So listen, we got some topics to discuss. So I want us to kind of dig into those topics there. Because we're family, right? Many a times, whether it's when we get together or we might have topics that just happen to pop up, or real life be lifing out here, right? And so one of the things that I love about us is that not only do we take our conversations and keep them between, okay, some of the conversation is between us because y'all ain't prayed up enough. That's all I'm gonna say for that. Pray some more, and then we're gonna release some of these conversations to y'all. But I love it because we're about to get into our segment, what's really going on? And we got some specific things to talk about what's really going on. So most of us are parenting children of a certain age, right? And some of us have survived the raising of the children, aka meaning we have adult children now, right? They grown. We let them make it to 18 without killing them. Hold fast, Jackie. Hold fast. Hold fast. That's the entire statement. But one of the conversations that we had to come up, and it's been some things in social media. I even shared something today about what sort of our style of assisting our adult children when they face hardships, hiccups in life. When we can't just go run and hide somewhere, like send me to my room. How about that? Like, oh, life is like, send me to my room. I deserve to, just let me be on punishment. But as we're having conversations with our kids and trying to help them navigate adulthood as adults while life is life, and I wanted to kind of pose this question to our group to talk through kind of what's some advice that you give your children. What are some things, and not specifics, because they already say we tell too much of their business already. Let's just put that out there. We know, yes, we tell too much of your business, but without disclosing all of the business, what has been kind of some sound advice that you've been able to give your children as they face some of those life hiccups? I'm gonna give us a Jeopardy minute to think about that thing there, and then we're gonna go. And I I feel like you close, Jackie. So I'm gonna start with you. Even if you haven't had to do it, what advice do you want them to take as they're navigating life and being fabulous?
You know, it's funny you start with me because I probably have the youngest bunch of our tribe, right? And my oldest just made 21, you know, shout out to my son. And, you know, I think one of my biggest goals as a parent, as I was parenting them, was independence and accountability, right? I think that, you know, if I had to pat myself on the back, I think I've done a good job with that, right? Because it was definitely something that was really important for me, right? For them to understand, like, you know, number one, I'm not always going to be here. It can't always be mommy to the rescue. I come and I wipe your boo-boos now and I do all those things, but I'm not always going to be here to do that for you. So it was really important for me to make sure that I gave them that space to be independent, to mess up, to do things. And, you know, like, I'm not going to do it for you. You got to figure this out. What we going to do, you know, not what mommy going to do, what we going to do. What can you do about that? And I think I'm kind of seeing it in my 21-year-old now, that, you know, he's off and being, you know, his version of a man now. And just taking accountability, you know, especially with my boys, I was big on them with, you know, take it. You know, you gotta take it on the hip, you know, take it to the chest, because, you know, in life, you know, that's the number one thing. When you face adversity, you can't control what someone else is going to do. You can't always control a situation, but you can always control how you respond to it. You can always control the part you play in that, right? So that's what I was always big on, is just, I still am, you know, because I've got an 11-year-old coming up now too, and I'm big on accountability. You know, like, whatever part you played in whatever circumstance you're in, that you can fix, right? We can't fix everything, but whatever part you played in it, we can fix that. And the biggest part of facing adversity is realizing what parts you played in that and how you can do better, you know, taking accountability for that, and then being independent and finding, you know, those ways of how you can take care of that on your own. My mom used to say that about my kids, because they used to go and spend, you know, time at her house, and she would always say, you know, like, Jackie kids come over here, I ain't gotta do nothing for them. They good. They gonna go in the kitchen, they gonna fix some cereal, you know, hot dogs, whatever. Like, they independent, they do their thing. I'm like, yeah, because I'm big on that. So independence and accountability. You know, whenever you facing something, independence and accountability. How you gonna fix it? What part you played in it? That's it.
Mhm.
Love it, love it. That goes a long way. That goes a long way. Rhonda, I'm gonna shoot over to you. What advice? And I know you still there. You've got grown children, but they're in those formative years where they still listening. That's what I'm gonna say on that.
And they have to listen. There's no choice. Um, with that said, there's with me, there's that cultural aspect when it comes to me raising, because I know I have American kids, but because my husband's Jamaican and I'm from Barbados, um we have that way of talking to them. And I mean, like, I didn't want to be a lawnmower mom or a microwave mom. That was not the two things that I was trying to be. And I said, I'll do the helicopter mom a little bit. I'll show you what needs to be done, and then you have to do. So it's like show follow. So my advice was resilience, because a lot of the kids do not have that resilience. And when faced with any issues or decisions that they have to make, they always go to that extreme where mentally they're not there. Like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, and I don't like that. So to wheel them back in, we sit down and we talk. There's a lot of talking that goes on in my house. We do, I don't know, probably way too much talking. Talking dinner time, just if you have a problem, we all sit down and talk about how to handle it. So to me, building that resilience, that when something happens, you don't go to that worst case scenario. You think about it, you figure it out, and just go into that logical thinking instead of that way extreme, I can't do this, I can't do that. Because another thing that I did when they were younger, we flushed cans down the toilet. We wrote can't and we flushed it down the toilet. There's no such thing. So even now at this age, when I say can't, I get it back at me. I get it thrown back at me. No, mom, you said we can't say can't, so you can't do that. You can't say that either. So it is just building resilience in order for them to figure out what needs to be done and do it the way that is best for them. Because I've lived my life. So every decision you make now, that's on you. Even my 16-year-old, I'm like, I'm still here, but you got to make decisions and you got to stick with those decisions, and that's it. So but that's my advice to my kids. That's it.
Love
And we
it.
do everything together, me and my husband. I don't make a decision without him, because I know how kids do that back and forth. And whatever I say, we discuss it together. And they're not perfect kids, because I said kids nowadays, I know some moms said my kid would never do that. I'm not saying that. They might do it, but then they're gonna figure out how to get out of it.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's my take on it, raising those adult kids. And they
Love
don't
it.
have to leave when they turn 18. They can live with me all their life, because they'll take care of me. That's how I look at it. You're not leaving here 18. You are not ready to pay rent. You are not ready to pay bills. And why pay 2 households when we could pay for one?
I don't know what to say for that one. I ain't kick nobody out. That's all I can say. I didn't kick anybody out. Okay. I left them right
In the
there in
mouth?
the house, though. I left them right there in the house. I was like, y'all gonna figure this out. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I love it because, one of the things that I had to learn for my children, one, being a mother of 5 children, nan one of them is the same. Like, they all learn the same lessons, but they all manifested those lessons in a different way. And so it was like, okay, I got to get married to get out. Well, I didn't say that. I don't know who told you that, but okay, let the Lord use you. But I recall specifically when I moved down here to North Carolina, and my middle son, Joshua, was the one. He would go around and tell people he was an orphan because his mother left him. And I said, that's not what orphan means, sir. He was like, are you here? Then I'm an orphan. He was 20 plus at that point. But I recall having a conversation with him, and going back to what you said, Jackie, about independence and accountability. I said, listen, don't make me your first call. Number one, you got other well-bodied, like, barter with your brothers and siblings, right? Your sister, and you barter with them. Don't make me your first call. I'm okay with being your last resort, though, right? Figure some things out, and when your back gets against the wall and you're like, okay, I can't figure this out, then I'll come in and help you. But you can't call me, Ma, I need gas. Ma, I got a flat tire. Mom, rent ain't gonna be paid. Well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because y'all can't come over here. What is the plan? And so really, as you mentioned as well, having those conversations of, so what happens when such and such happens? And a lot of times our kids just think it's just like dead air that we're talking about, but we've lived some things, right? We've gone through some things where it's like, okay, well, if you need to come here, well, the challenge is this: my grandkids are welcome at my house all day long, and I'll tell them that, right? They're all y'all welcome, all of the grandkids. But it got to be a plan for them coming here, because you're not just dropping kids off at my house. But it is a different relationship that I have with their parents, because I know that they are self-sufficient. So call me and let's strategize. Call me and let's figure out, what are those things that you need to do so that you're not disrupting, because that's what happens sometimes when life's and there are challenges that our children have to face. It sometimes disrupts the life for everybody else. Don't be coming over here and disrupting nothing. So I'm just saying, Rhonda, I ain't nobody out. I left them right where they was, and then each of them, one by one, left the family home, and they were like, okay, one was like, I'm 25, I can't, my mother should be paying my bills. I never said that to him, right? It just was something that he took it upon himself, was like, I'm old enough to get out here in this world, and let's see, what it is. The one thing that I often say to them is because of the way that I adulted them, that I raised them as children. I have to remind them it is okay to ask for assistance, right? Don't feel like you got to do everything by yourself, and then you find yourself taking on mental anguish that is not yours to bear by yourself. To have somebody to talk some things through, but don't be dropping them kids off at my house. They only two of them got the address. That's all I'm gonna say. The rest of them, I don't know what to tell you, because I already know they're the ones that's gonna try to drop them kids off. I apologize. I'm putting on my cuticle oil right now. So if y'all
Ah.
Well, they can Google you. They can Google you, Karen.
Yes, listen, figure it out. You'll figure it out. So Bliv, I know you got boys. You got boys. Like what is that advice that you tell your young men that you hope that they following as they are into their adult years?
Well, I mean, if anybody knows anything about me, they know every time one of my sons turned 15, I got them a gym membership. They had to go to the gym. You had to work out. You had to play a sport. That just teaches discipline. My military background, I kind of ran it like the military a little bit, but toned down some. I had so many individuals say it's not the military. You can't treat your kids like that. But guess what? If you can take a unit of 80 people and get them to all do the same thing, get them in line, you can do some military tactics on children. I pretty much instill God first, and just be a respectful person. And now that they're grown, I don't really have to be their father anymore. I'm still going to be their dad, but we're more like friends now. We can just sit down and talk and chop it up and do things together and laugh. And they already know if they're doing anything negative, I'm on them. Stay positive, keep a positive mindset, be a man, keep a roof over your head, food in your belly. And if you have a wife or a woman, be a provider. That's pretty much it.
Love it, love it, love it. Listen, we are raising our next generation of husbands and fathers and all that, so those are definitely important lessons to be talking about. Shelby, you are a mother and now have a plus one, so have a new in love to also share some of that motherly wisdom too. What is some advice that you share with your daughter and new son as they embark on really adulting in their lives?
Right. So I knew she was in love when she said, Mom, she called me at 1 o'clock in the morning. And if you know my daughter, she's a nerd like her father. And so she'll never see this. She no social media. She's very, very reserved. But before she got to her space of reservation, she had a mouth and she was very opinionated, and she always wanted to even she started speaking at one. By her first birthday, she was saying words, like full words, half sentences. So I knew I had a problem. So I knew this was going to be a problem. I prayed for a son, but God saw fit to send a daughter. And going back, we, uh, Donald and I struggled with fertility, which is not a common thing to speak of in the Black community. And so it took us 4 years with fertility drugs to conceive her. So by the time we went through that process, the 4 years, I said to God, you know how we make deals with God. I said, if you bless us with just one, I will be the most amazing guardian that I can possibly be, with your help, of course. So she knew early on in life that she was really prayed for. And so I always, still to this day, always pray. Always make sure that God knows your voice. And so that was one of the things. But I also said to her every time she left the house, I would say, know who you are and know whose you are. And so those words covered her, and they still cover her in her choice of husbands. She saw how, I'm not saying my husband is perfect, but he's perfect for me. And the way that he loved me, she witnessed it. So we always say, don't you be bringing no trash up in here. But because that's not what we are accustomed to in her dating life. She never brought anybody home except this young man that she said, Mom, that's my person. So when she said that, I knew um, that she would not be in the United States with us. She would not see my process of aging. She's just going to know now my parents are old. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
she's off building her own life, which is wonderful. However, I say to them both, put each other first. Keep the outside noise out where it belongs, and you will be successful in your marriage. But even before that, I taught her to really honor who she is. And I always say, girl, you are a Lawson, you know? So with that comes accountability, as Jackie said. You're accountable. We're accountable to you, and you're accountable to us. And not in a pressure pressure filled way, but in a way so that she knows who she is and whose she is. So I still say that to her, and she's always honored us as parents. And we, now that she's older, we honor her as a wife and now homeowner and moving forward in her life. So I think open communication with your children. We're not perfect. We've screwed up in many ways. Nothing so catastrophic that we could not recover from. And I did say that to her. I said, don't go out in the world and mess up so bad that we can't get you back. Because we're in your corner. But if you go so far, we might have to let you go. And so she understood that as well. So she was an easy child for me, which I'm grateful for, because sometimes I can go a little crazy. And I didn't want that. I didn't want her to see that part of me. I wanted her to see the nurturer that God really created me to be for her.
Good stuff. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Marisol, how about for you?
Oh my God. So my children on the older scale. My son is 35 and my daughter just turned 33. So for me now is I'm not a parent anymore. I can't go to them and tell them what to do, even though I really want to. I'd be like, girl, really? Or I tell my son, oh no, that's not. And then I catch myself. So now I'm in the stage with them where I'm just listening. They don't want too much of the so I'm listening more, and then if they feel that they need me like that, then they'll tell me that. But more right now, I'm in the listening stage. That's where I'm at right now.
I
The
like
listening and getting to know them as adults, getting to know my son as the man that he is and my daughter for the woman that she is versus, oh, that's my daughter, that's my son. That's
that.
where we are. And
I,
I'm enjoying it because there's some things that I was like, oh, okay, and sometimes the way they do things now doesn't have to be the way I used to do them. So you just gotta learn to just hang it up when you need to hang it up and not get all worked up about it because they're adults and you don't have to worry about that piece anymore. So it is a relief.
I appreciate that. I like what you said about, sort of being reintroduced to them as the adult version of them, because many of us know who we know who they are as we were raising them, and now they're in a space where as you mentioned, Marisol, they are adults, they are making their own choices, and doing all of the things. All right, Tilted, I'm gonna ask because you got a square, so I can't just ignore you. What is your take on this question here in adulting and advice that we want to give to our grown children?
Well, I'm leaning on the side of Marisol. My oldest will be 38 in December, and my baby girl is 30. So I have two young queens, or should I say my princesses, that I've reared. And one of my things is pray. I've always said pray. When I take a picture or a photo or anything and I give it to my children, the only
Mhm.
thing it does say on the back is pray. Love mommy, period. I want them, like Shelby said, you want God to be familiar with your voice. No matter what situation you're in, when you cry out,
Mhm.
he's so familiar with you, he's going to respond instantaneously. So the first word of advice I give my adult children is you pray without ceasing. Even when you're not moving your mouth, no one can take what's going on in your mind from you. Prayer is first. Then I often like to tell them to be cautious, but never be afraid. Again, I'm gonna say it: be cautious, but never be afraid. Because first of all, the Spirit of God resides in you, daughter. So that means you don't operate in the spirit of fear. It has
Mhm.
no place in you. So we don't operate in fear, but we are cautious. And when I say cautious, we're gonna get some information. We're gonna get some knowledge so we can, be empowered to make the moves that are best, for us and for them, for the women that they're destined to become. I never wanted my children to be carbon copies of me. I'm not raising any lemmings. This is not the Flintstones episode. I am raising Kimberly and Linnea, who are now beautiful women out here in the world. Um, Prayer equips you to face anything.
Mhm.
Prayer equips you to face anything in this life, because there's an exchange that's happening between you and Abba Father. When you talking to him, he giving you what you need, even when you don't feel like listening, much like a parent here on earth. That might be for somebody in the listening audience.
Mhm.
Yeah, God speaks. You just got to be willing to hear it, feel it, and see it. His presence is ever so tangible because of the mist that we even put out of our own mouths. And to be armed with information, don't be a bandwagoner. Let's talk about that, because we see a lot of young folks now. And more recently, there's been quite a few people who are well monetized influencers who jumped on the bandwagon and didn't do their own diligence and started spouting some stuff. Next thing you know, boop, they done lost their monetization. Why? Because they were not well informed. And if you're a dictionary reader like myself, you go on in there and you'll see some of the synonyms for the word cautious. Yes, I just pulled a Coach Cash on the listeners, Karen. I gave them some homework. There's so much power in the words that we speak over our adult children.
Yes.
Rhonda, I took a little bit from your culture in raising my girls. Y'all ain't never got to leave here. You ain't never got to leave, because outside of these four walls, where you're treated with love and respect and honor, it ain't nothing but some lions and some tigers and some bears trying to rip you apart. So there's safety and protection
Mhm.
in the home of your mother. Even if you move out, you can always come back home. There's space for you here. I'm
Mhm.
not one to be a champion for reinforcing generational curses. That in itself, kicking your children out the house at 18, that's something we got to stop doing, especially in this day and age. Are you listening to the people, to the young folks that are our children age, and what's coming out of their mouths? Now I got to reverse this because you don't let me talk, Karen. I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
I got to ask you a question. Now, when your children have come to you with some of the hard things in life, how have you responded? Keeping it real, Coach Cash, because that's what we do, authenticity here at Unhinged Live. How do you respond?
Listen, I respond with strategy. It's a conversation of you can't stay where you're at, right? Because usually by the time they talking to me, we somewhere that it's like, so what's the plan? Have you prayed about it? And going back to that accountability, right? What was your part in this? How do we not repeat this again? right? That's the bigger thing with it. You could face challenges. We've all faced challenges, but there are things that we've experienced that we never want to experience again. And so, even when it was, I need this. And it's one of those things that I know that God favors me the way that he does, because I try to be obedient even with raising my adult children. So it's like, okay, what do you need in this particular phase of your life? I'm going to answer with love, but you getting a little push. I ain't going to kick you, but you're going to get a push a little bit to be like, all right, what direction are we going into? And so I recall, some of the decisions that my children made, and they were, who raised you? That's my question to them. Like, who raised you? It's like, you. Well, clearly you didn't get the lesson. So let's come back and recalibrate and see if we need to reteach these things. So I am a tough love type mom. But I'm a loving mom. And so, and I say that in the same sentence because I'm going to help you get out of your bind, right? But I'm not enabling you to keep repeating the same cycles over and over again. And so we're talking about, so what caused you to get to this place, right? Is it something that they got from me? Because sometimes I got to be like, oh, Lord, that came directly from me. They ain't even see that coming. Like, I knew what this was because this was a generational something that I never approached with them. I just, I handled it behind doors so they couldn't see the lesson, right? Like, so they couldn't see how do you work your way through that. So now we got to learn the lesson a little bit different. So yeah, they'll say I'm tough. I am, and I have high standards for them, but they will also say that they've been equipped to deal with a lot of life's lessons, and I'm usually the one to have to remind them, right? Everybody didn't get raised like you all got raised. So some of the lessons that you learned earlier, people are just now being introduced to. How am I paying these bills? How do I shift things around, not just on the money side? How do I get a job? How do I leave this job and get another job? You got to work somewhere because y'all can't come over here. You better have a job. And as Blinn said, have a roof over your head. So they had some of those lessons. And I do agree with you. Their dad was in the military for a while as well. And I would argue with him, Bliv, like, don't you be bringing that military stuff over here. But some of it is the reason why I've accompanied them more times to graduations, but never to the jailhouse, right? I've accompanied them to celebrate accomplishments more than trying to get them out of trouble somewhere. And so these are lessons in the praying part. So I could go on and on. They got stories, though. It wasn't that they was the Brady Bunch kids. I promise you that. The principal knew all of our names. Okay, the principal.
My house, it was the chancleta. It wasn't military, but if you messed around, boy, you gonna get that. You gonna get that chancla. You gonna get it.
I love it.
So yeah, my kids, yeah, they have their careers and they doing really good because I don't know. I'm a believer and I will spank that booty. So
I love it. I chuckle at my kids now because two of my children, their spouses are they don't believe in spanking. And then they marry my kids. So y'all pray for them spouses because them kids I already know what it is, So while mama is like, you cannot hit my child. Listen, okay, it's gonna be something else sometimes. So
spare the rod and watch, spare the rod. I don't know what does that say. Spare the rod.
Spoil the child. So I ain't saying beat them for everything, but figure it out. Figure it out. Don't send them over here. I don't beat my grandkids though. Let me just say that.
No, I know my daughter says that my kids would never get away with that. She says, I would never get away with that.
I do not spank if my grandkids get popped, they did something very, very bad. So I have 11 grandkids. I probably have popped 3 of them 3 times. That's the
My grandson's a light skin.
Can't be whooping them. Can't be whooping them light-skinned kids. I'm trying to tell you.
Can't put no
Lord,
paws on
you
them.
got something on
Can't
your
put no paws
hand.
on them in the show. They light skin.
They got ears.
Mine
Blair,
is
the
gonna
ears work.
mine's gonna have
Ears.
red hair.
Look, see? Listen, y'all, listen.
Beautiful.
We celebrating everybody, but raising kids are different. I'll share this with you. I was spending time when we were up there with my youngest granddaughter, and she's teething, 6 months old, and they not giving her nothing for the teething. And they were like, well, she don't have no fever. And so I just said, Peyton, I apologize. Your parents signed up for the struggle bus version of raising you, because do we only take Tylenol when we have a fever, or we take something when we in pain? I'm sorry, they raising these. I'm trying to let them, Jackie, raise these kids, but now you complaining that the baby up at 4. All right, never mind. Y'all smart, but
They're not smart. My daughter is so smart. They are not smart. They are book smart and no common sense.
That's
I
right.
said it. I said it. So come fight me. I don't care. I can fight. I know how to
That's
fight.
true. But sometimes I'd be like, oh my God.
Get them,
Yeah.
Get them.
That's the hardest part. Watching them raise these children with these new age parenting skills. And some of them have a place. I would just say some of them have a place. Even if I don't know what that place yet is, I'm sure they have a place. But I looked at Peyton looked at me, and I said, they on the struggle bus, and she agreed with me. So if they want you up at 4 a.m, because you know what happens when you are in something and you no longer can tolerate it. What do? You find a solution for it. So they'll be up with her at 4 o'clock in the morning. I saw in the pumpkin pictures this week, the 2 teeth that was trying to make their way through have arrived. So that just means more coming. But who am I to try to be sensible with these children? God bless y'all. Shelby, mine gonna watch. They only gonna halfway listen, so they may not make it to this part here, but I'm gonna talk about them anyway. That's all.
I don't even care. She can't look. She's not the boss of me. She thinks she is now because she's 28. She thinks she can tell me what to do. Girl, bye.
I love it.
That is hilarious.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah,
listen,
why do you think they fit to be our parents, though? What's that about?
I don't know.
She told me to sit down. She told me I need to sit down. I'm doing too much. Huh?
No, LJ is always clocking my coming and going. I think one day she told me I needed to sit down.
Oh, Naomi tells me that all the time, and then had the nerve one day to say, you should have done yoga a long time ago. I said, listen, little girl, I had to parent you first. I didn't have time to be in meditation and stuff. I had to crack that whip.
You the reason why we need all this meditation now. Okay.
Bingo. Bingo. Mm-hmm.
That's all. So Tilted, here's my favorite line to my daughter. Let me check my birth certificate and see if your name is on mine.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's hilarious because my parents live with me.
I like
So
that.
sometimes if I'm gonna go out, I feel like I gotta ask permission. That is hilarious. I'll go to their room. So like, let's say if I'm going to Wawa, right? I'll go to their room and I'll be like, I'll knock on the door. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to Wawa. And then I'll be like, catch myself. I'll be like, girl, you 55. What's going on?
Not 55.
Like, what is it? What is
no
it?
permission. No
It happens. It happens, Marisol. When my mom is here with me, I do the same thing with her. Like she's in my house and I'm telling her what I'm doing and where I'm going. And I'm like, this is my house. But you're so used to it. You're so used to that it is hard to break.
I love it. It is. It's a hard thing.
Yeah.
And there's certain lessons that they will stay with you, right? My mother is past almost a decade now, right? Nope. Still certain things I'm not doing because I'm not sure how this visit from heaven gonna go if I do certain things. So nah,
Disrespect. Yes.
you gonna
Yeah.
miss that. No, not gonna be able to do it. No, 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 not gonna be able to do it. I love it. So listen, I know the time is moving forward, and I had a point of discussion because for those that saw our flyer this week, right? We got AI, y'all. We got AI, y'all, right?
Yeah.
So it brought the thought of discussion with so many people talking for, against, not really sure how much should we be using AI. Are we on the scared bus or never scared? So I told Tilted and I had this conversation because she's like, Karen, you're gonna have to get used to the AI version. And I said, I just don't like that sometimes AI be trying to make me look older than I am, right? It like be giving me those closed feet lines. I ain't got them in real life. What I look like? Like we not. No. Okay. Just no. But I want to hear how you all are embracing this AI journey that apparently we have all arrived on, whether we wanted to or not. Marisol, how you doing with AI?
So I am loving it because I'm just curious. I like all that stuff. And, from the 80s, learning the computer, F10, F2, like I'm a dinosaur already. So I'm like loving this. And then the other piece is when people say, oh, well, they're going to have your data or this and that and the other. Well, let me just set the record straight. Everybody already done breached our data. If you didn't get a letter in the mail that said this company breached you, that company breached you, and then you're going to wait for a $5 check in the mail. Well,
Wait a
then
minute,
you might as
Marisol.
well.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute,
you might as
Marisol. I got one for $268 the other day from Wells
you
Fargo.
see? See, so you might as well just go ahead and bite the
Yeah.
bullet and learn everything
Here's
because
my
it's
check.
gonna come. And then what? You're gonna be left behind not knowing anything about it.
I'm just gonna lay down and retire. Because
No,
the AI had me
learning
looking
is
like I
earning.
the
So you
AI
know
had
how
me looking like
knowledge
I'm
is
a pumpkin
power,
head.
learning is earning.
Learning
But
is
AI had me looking like a pumpkin head. I have a narrow face and they always swell me up like I'm on steroids.
They
That's some
always
bull.
give me extra fingers.
that's a first for me. I don't know about like I'm concerned with the extra lines. We trying to stay youthful over here. I don't know. Rhonda, what's your take on it?
They always try to make me look short with short legs. So every time I put my picture in, I end up looking like this way instead of this way. So I always have to say like, make my legs longer.
Make my legs longer.
Yeah, it always have
It's
this way
put
to
in the
put me
prompt.
wrong. Like I was like, yeah, I'm wrong, but down there, I don't have hips, I don't have butt, I don't have all that stuff. But I was like, oh, thank you. But you remember,
Yeah,
we had a
making you thick.
conversation. Yeah, maybe thick. I'm a thickums. And I'm like, okay, yeah. But Karen, do you remember when I first came on? We had a session, we were talking about AI, and I was so against it. And then I was like, okay, I can see. But now, knowing how the education is so important, knowing how to use it to get what you want, I see is the positive side. Yes, everything is going to have a negative and a positive. Everything is balanced. So what I did one day, I went and I said, show me everything I've searched for. And it was like, sorry, don't retain something or the other. If you don't have it saved to your own personal stuff, it doesn't save it. And I said, are you lying? And I was having an argument with the AI, and it was shooting back some
Oh my
stuff at me.
goodness.
And I said, I want to know if you have my information. What's my name? And they said, your name is Rhonda Thomas Booth. And I was like, what do you have on me? And it said blank. It just came up blank and errors and error stuff. I am having a whole argument with AI trying to retrieve stuff to see if somebody else can get it. And my daughter, she was laughing. She was like, Mommy, did you really say that? Did you really do that? And I was like, yes. I wanted to know what it knew. So, but yes, I'm having a good time with it because I see the benefits of like presentations, like workshop, where you design flyers. It's really good in that sense. So, like I said, in everything we do, somebody's going to put something negative or destructive, I should say destructive. But I look for the positive in what it could do for me, and I'm loving it. I see Nikita's a pro, and I'm like, how you do that? So I'm always in that like, oh wow. Even Marcel, when I see the things dancing and walking around, I was like, how the heck did you do that?
Oh
So
my God,
I'm learning.
I love it. I just love it all.
I'm learning. So I'm in that stage where I'm a student.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Bliv, you doing anything with AI?
I want to thank AI. Because for every woman that tries to say it was me in a picture with him, AI confirmed it wasn't me. So, hey, AI is the bomb.
It wasn't me.
That's it.
I love it.
Like, who was that song? That Shaggy guy.
It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Big up my Jamaican people. Wasn't me. Bliv.
Hilarious.
Love it. Jackie, y'all using AI over on your side there?
Listen, so back to what Rhonda was saying about, documents and things like that from a work perspective and business perspective. Like, it's great because it really helps, get documents together and things that, as a professional, we have a lot going on. It does shorten tasks for us to be able to have it do that. And all you have to do is read over it, so on and so forth. But I'm going to say that I feel like AI is widening the age gap. Okay. I know we got the wealth gap. It's widening the age gap for me. Okay. And it's widening it hard. It's making, so I'll send something to my daughter and she'd be like, Mommy, that's AI. Got me feeling like a little older than I is. Okay. Because I can't tell a difference. If it ain't got no watermark on it, I don't know what's happening. Okay. So it makes me feel older. I'm like, this AI is definitely widening the age gap because they'll look at it and be like, oh no, that's AI, right? And I look at it and be like, oh my God, oh, that's cute. Oh, and I'm showing her, she's like, Mommy, that's AI. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, just remind me of my age. Go ahead now, So for the, there's on one side, I'm like, all right, I love it here, like it's making my job a little easier. On the other hand, it's making me feel a little older than should I feel. AI is personally responsible for that. Because I can't find a little hard to tell a difference. Like at first, we could tell like the lip sync wasn't and they done got it so good now you can't tell.
That is
look at the hands, the fingers. Yeah.
Right.
To interject something on the AI. AI is reproducing some beautiful images of people to the point where, I've been engaged in a couple conversations where people are saying, hey, we don't even need photo shoots anymore. We need AI. But
no, you still need those photo shoots.
I still need the personal experience of the photo shoot because I can't even like half the pictures that are posted now because I don't know if it's the real person or not. I mean, y'all know y'all be out here looking good. Let's talk to us. We some queenagers and some teenagers. We out here looking good. We got good skin, got the skincare popping. We out work doing yoga. We working out. We eating good, eating shrimps and steaks. But baby, your body don't look like that no more. We know that's AI.
Right?
Listen, don't even get me started. You better You better look snitched.
Snitch. Yes.
Remain hopeful, but the deal is I don't want AI photographs to be so prevalent where I don't recognize my Facebook and online people when I run into them in real life. That's where I will always
sometimes that's true.
That's where I will always keep somebody to keep the legitimate record, get a camera and take a picture of what I look like this year. Because I'm doing my best to show my daughters what it is to age gracefully. And if you ever look at my pictures that I post, little selfies and stuff, baby, I don't use filters. This is it. This mean. You know, I use that good black soap
recognize.
so my skin don't get dry. But at least you recognize me in the streets. My nose
we look
is not
like
so
this in
thinned
real
out that I
life.
look like a whole nother person.
Right.
Yeah, this is
you look like that in real life.
But you know, I'll turn y'all into cartoons in a heartbeat. Yeah, I turned y'all into cartoons because every last one of us are characters. So I said, why not? Let's just be cartoons on the flyer.
Exactly. Yeah. Alaji's correct too. I see Alaji post AI can never replace a photo shoot because I've seen some photo shoots that AI and it looks weird because the skin, the tone, not the tone, but you can see the shape of the person looks weird or their face look distorted in a little way. And I was like, no. Yes, and I'm not perfection. I want you to show I don't have moles. I don't have moles in part of my face, but my body might have a mole. I don't want you to brush that out because I've come so far. Like you said, age with grace. And I love one of the people that I really love is Grace Jones. And I love Tina Turner. I love how they age. I love how they age. And a lot of us don't have that opportunity to age anymore. So I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying feeling, no, something not feeling, because if you get with a back pain, no thank you. But looking a certain way, I enjoy looking that way. I just love it. Like people look and it's like, yeah, I just feel good. Like I don't need to do all that stuff. I don't even know how to do a filter. Sorry. I never knew how to do that one. I see people do it on the phone when they take a picture. Yeah, comfort. You feel comfortable. And I want to see myself age. I look at some of these old ladies on Instagram and they're like, oh my God, they're like 60, 70, and they're just enjoying that freedom. And I think it's that freedom to be confident and age the way you want to age. AI is fun. That's why I think it's a fun thing. That's, to me, it's fun. But don't make somebody believe that's who you look, especially trying to date or meet people. That's a no. Don't even go in that field. But to have fun with it, yeah, have fun with it.
It's a little scary though, the things that it can do. Like,
yeah,
you know, if we're being honest about it, like it's a little, you know, it's a little scary because it's like, you know, it can really make something that's not true look true, you know, and you know, you just would be none the wiser. So there's that little part of it. It's like, you know, I love everything that it can do. And it's like, wow, it's so amazing. You know, look where we've come to. But it's also, you look at it and like, wow, that's a little scary. Like y'all could really have me out here looking like I did something I ain't do. I don't know how I feel about it. No.
Somebody you ain't never dated. You know what I mean? It wasn't me. I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Bliv, you know. Bliv out here pictures with people and things that wasn't him. It's not cool.
They have this new video and is an AI video and you click on it and a guy comes in like if he's hugging you and kissing you. I said, oh my God, somebody could make believe that's you and send it to your partner and then you get in trouble for like absolutely nothing. What is that?
So my partner would not be my partner would understand because I don't kiss strangers like that. No, I like people in my space like that. You're like, no, that could never be her because she doesn't like people in her face like that. So the partner got to know you, because if you about kissing people and you say, oh yeah, that might be her, she like to kiss people, but yeah, you got to be very aware. That's why in some pictures, when people are taking pictures, I always go like,
or like the celebrities, let's say like the celebrities, you know, they could take that and make it into something else and try to blackmail them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. It really is. You gotta pick through that picture. Like my daughter is doing radio and television, and when we're watching TV, she can tell the errors in pictures. She can tell the screen. She can tell when the flow wasn't. There's technical terms to it, and I'm sitting on watching TV with her. It's like, well, I didn't even know that, but you have to be educated in it to know that it's wrong. Yeah, or to see the flaws. So I hear you. But we're gonna protect Brother Bliv from any of those things. Okay, Bliv, we got you.
Right. That's what's important.
Everything in
Yep.
moderation. Everything
We
in
gotta protect
moderation.
Liv. Yeah, we gotta protect
Protect you,
Liv.
Bliv. Yep.
AI.
Appreciate that.
Important.
Appreciate that.
Just give them a couple of minutes and call it a day. That's all that is. Here, have a mint, and that's it. And leave Bliv alone.
There you go. We appreciate all of that. We want to give a shout out to the folks in our comment streets. You know, we love that you all stopped by. Brother Elijah, we love you. Emily, thanks so much for stopping by. We've seen a couple of other folks that have stopped by. Thanks, Angela, for always sharing. We ask, you know, those who might have been late to this joy tsunami, don't worry. Rewind and start from the beginning, and you could keep the tsunami going on and on. And you know, as we are talking about this joy tsunami, I think many of us will be in the building in just another week and a half time. I don't even know how many days, almost 2 weeks, where we are celebrating NEPA. Northeastern PA Fashion Awards Extravaganza. Will be supporting our brother Elijah, but also just the community, because we get the opportunity to see so many of our folks in the fashion community and all the great things that are happening. More to come, because listen, we've been doing some things kind of a little bit quietly under cuff, or you may see or don't see, blink and it's going to be something else. But we're excited about being able to support our fashion industry as it relates to that event that's coming up. And I know many of the folks that are on here will be walking for one fashion designer or another. So that's super exciting. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look at that. We're honoring our own the legendary Shelby Lawson. I love it. Now look, she done left. So I hope do she know? Is this secret? All of the things. Child, listen. I love it. Because she's so well deserving. If you have not had the opportunity to have a Lawson Accessories outfit, what we calling them, ensemble. Yeah, put that on your list. That part, put it on your list, because it really is all of those things. It's more than just, you know, you might say, I want a dress. Well, you're going to get a whole experience and a vibe when you connect with Shelby Lawson of Lawson Accessories, all of the fun things. But if you haven't gotten your tickets for NEPA, make sure you get in that. Why? Because we don't want to see you get sold out because you was just late to it. So listen, get those things together. Make sure you get your tickets, get your fits together, and meet us over there for the NEPA fashion show, an awards event. I gotta call it an event because it's not even just a ceremony. It's not just a show. It is an actual event. So, Till, did you want to add anything to that NEPA announcement? I feel a fan coming on. No,
just just to piggyback off what you said, sis. Join us at the Northeast Pennsylvania Fashion Week Extravaganza. There is going to be an awards ceremony where the NEPA team will be honoring some of the creatives in the fashion community. You know, we like to keep it stylish. And then we're gonna roll right on into the red carpet, and then the whole fashion show portion, where everybody in the tribe is going to be out here all the way live at Northeast Pennsylvania Fashion Week. And I got to give a special shout out to our very own Jackie. She got one name, to know her last name. Her name Jackie.
Jackie.
I was going to say that, our very own Jackie.
Our very own Jackie is making her runway debut at this season's Napa Fashion Week. Yes, she is, and I'm pretty sure you saw where the Queen Marisol shared the reel. Go on and scroll either one of our social media pages where we were bigging sis up because we were at the Creatives Warehouse this past weekend for some show prep work, and they took her off in the corner, gave her a tip. I don't know how she listen. I said it in the short. It's in her bloodline to be fabulous. There is nothing less. What? I'm tilted. That's my sister. What you thought this was gonna be? She bumped herself up from the little beginners group, amen, to group one, with many of us who are considered the seasoned models on the runway. So we're very proud of you, Jackie. Welcome,
Yes.
sister.
Yeah.
You got the title, model. You're gonna kill it, Jackie. I'm so excited. I was so excited. Jackie. Yes,
Yeah,
I am
Kill
so
Bill outfit
proud.
on ready. Got her Kill Bill outfit on ready.
All right now.
I'm excited too. I was I was sharing with my sister, like I walk in the room and there's just this room full of excellence and beauty and just elegance. And I'm like, oh no, I feel inadequate. And my sister sat me down. She's like, listen. She gave me that talking to that I needed to be talking to. And she was like, you're gonna go up there and you're gonna do what you know how to do. And I was like, say less. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you see that the brain
Right,
is a
like,
sponge.
I don't feel like I don't think I can do this. Like, I just really had an overwhelming feeling of inadequacy, right? And
Oh my God, no! Please,
I
you say
did.
it.
When sis gave me a talking to, and she said, "No, ma'am, we not doing that." And I said,
That's
"Yes,
the switch. That's the
right.
switch.
You had
The
to flip the
switch.
switch." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
your
"Okay,
emotions. Real.
yes,
You
I'm
just have
really
to
excited
develop
about
an
it."
alter ego. Like,
Yes.
who is it that Jackie always wanted to be? And then boom, you her right there on the runways. That's it.
Yeah,
love
so
it.
I'm really excited about it. Looking forward to it. Again, I mean, just a room full of excellence. So I think it's going to be a great time. So
And just practice, Jackie. I've been in here prancing up and down in my house. When I come from work, I use prancing. That's a word we use. That's a Bajan term.
Yes, prancing.
Listen, you know what I used to do back in the day when I worked at the hospital? They had this long hallway, and on my lunch break, I would just say the whole thing going and coming back. Me and Emily, up and down, up and down.
Yes, that's
Yes, we are
me and
hyping you
Nikita.
up.
Nikita,
Yes,
we
we
do
are
that at
hyping-
work.
We are hyping you up. We're excited for that. We're excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Love it, love
Yeah.
it. Marisol, I want to kick it over to you. And before
Yes.
we're
Oh my
gonna wrap
goodness.
up soon, but yeah, go ahead.
So I wanted to give a special shout out because back in September, I was part of Passion on the runway. And so Girl Talk Nails was able to put her press-ons or my press-ons on a few models and showcase my artwork via Stacy Angela. I'm signed as a model, and I'm also signed as a nail tech entrepreneur. So I just wanted to say thank you to Stacy and to Melissa Luke Events out of London. They gave me this grand opportunity. I met so many people. I was interviewed by Walk on Water Films, and he was amazing. He asked all the right questions. Yes, thank you so much. He asked me all the right questions and made me feel so comfortable. Like I wasn't so nervous, And then I wanted to thank Impeccable Studios. They took amazing pictures. Those were the guys that took the pictures of us, Rhonda. And just thank everybody there that made the time and the space an event to remember my first time in New York Fashion Week from Fashion Avenue, that my mother came from Puerto Rico, from Fashion Avenue. And then 40 something years later, her daughter is on Fashion Avenue, in Fashion Avenue, with my artwork was amazing. So thank God, and thank you to everyone who opened the door for that opportunity. And we're going to be seeing you guys in London and everywhere else. I am so excited. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats. Listen, we got one more Cologne shout out that we want to make. You know, our brother G is missing in action. I'm gonna blame all of the birthday celebrations that we had. So we want to wish G an amazing happy birthday. We were able to celebrate with him over the weekend before his birthday, but we had to come on and make sure that we give him that shout, let him know, you know, we just, it's all love. And we gotta give a moment. Sisters, can we just give a moment to our brothers? Were not both G and Bliv just styling on the folks at the Inner Star event? We're gonna give a whole clap to that little man. They was coming in there. All I know is everybody who was attached to them was tightly attached. That's all.
Right.
On that. Like, ain't no mistakes in here. Nobody got lost. That's all we're gonna say. Nobody got lost.
We had cake.
So there was cake for G in celebration, but we love you, G, and just always appreciate the opportunity to connect. But listen, when our brothers take it seriously, y'all know it's different for us, right? And I know many of the brothers, they just went their closet, they got some shoes, they put on, you know, whatever's in the closet. You know what? I gotta celebrate Seabird as well, right? All of the tribe men was like really bringing it together. And we never shout out your husband, Rhonda, because I know he could not. He'll probably be like, don't do that no more. Anyway, the thing is, y'all represented, and y'all represented well.
Yeah.
We, you know, we out there and it's all the cuteness and we got the hair and the nails and the things, but our brothers came through with, from the bow ties to the jackets to the shoes to the hat. Bliv was styling and profiling. Like, listen, it takes something when you see a man say, I'm putting it together, and y'all did that. So definitely appreciate y'all, and for all of the things, G, you know, we shouting you out because we love you. He watching. We love you, G.
Love you, G.
Shout out to Shelby that she made his bow tie. She made sure to put those final touches.
Shout out to Bliv for that hat. Can we talk about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Very sharp.
And the
shoes, the velvet shoes.
The
shoes.
I don't even know if everybody saw those, you know. But
we saw
them. We saw the shoes.
Next time we
saw them. Remember, we had our own photo shoot. We had our own photo shoot up there. Me, you, and G.
Shout out to Lawson Accessories for the jacket. You know, that joint was dope.
Awesome.
It looks really good.
Always keep us fly, man. You know.
Love
and
it,
after
love
that,
it,
I just put it together on some grown man. I mean, I know right now I'm rocking my Sixers stuff, and they're getting their butt kicked, but every now and then it's nice to get on your grown man. You know.
It is, and y'all did
exactly.
We appreciate y'all. We appreciate.
We had a blast. How about the Lion King performance, huh?
Amazing.
If y'all missed that, sir.
The performances were dope.
Do you know my husband and daughter was asking when is the show? They were actually asking when there is a show because where's the showing? And I really thought that it was just a part of the overall show. I didn't know it was just for Interstar because now we want to see a whole Lion King production. I want to see a whole production.
Yeah.
I want to see a whole production.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you're
they
out
were
there,
amazing. I was on my feet. And the costume design, let's talk about that just for a sec. The costume design, everything. It looked like it was really, really a Broadway show put together, very nice. The costumes, the dancers, everything. It gave me chills.
And they gave us a lot, right? Like for anybody,
in a little bit of time.
You thinking you're gonna get like 30 seconds or something? They
It was a
really
lot.
through the entire time of it. So a time was had. We appreciate all of you who participated in it. Y'all
And I
know
ain't get lost, Karen. That counts.
listen, clearly, if we don't want to lose you, we're gonna have to be at the Archer every single year. Okay, that's what we learned. We learned
Next to the bar. Next to the bar.
at the Archer. So we
And
don't.
listen, if you guys leave me in charge of Jackie, we all good.
You weren't
Oh my
charged.
God.
Thank you for that.
We had such a blast together, me and Jackie.
Beautiful, beautiful. Listen, the time is upon us, and now it's time to almost say goodbye. But I'm gonna throw it back over to Tilted because Tilted, I just feel like nobody don't introduce me. You like the Steve Harvey.
All
of
right,
my
all
life.
right, all right. Lend me your ear, friends and countrymen. Lend me your ear. Lend me your ear. Quiet on the set, y'all. Quiet on the set. We getting ready to get it. You know, this is one of my favorite segments. And you listen. I'm grateful to be immersed in a group of such empowering individuals. And guess what, y'all? I got the privilege of making the introduction of my very, very best friend. That's right. So get ready to receive this week's reflection of purpose. Because are y'all hungry for these nuggets? I know I am. So you know what, Coach Cash, I got to ask you to take it away.
We taking it. Listen, as always, I'm coming with the title. Get your sneakers on. Get your sneakers on. Get your sneakers on. I'm giving us this pre-PSA. And I'm saying get your sneakers on. That's the title. Get your sneakers on. We got a lot of things that we need to see happen. And there's just such an amazing swift shift that we are experiencing in our world. We got about 65 days left in 2025, right? It feels like yesterday when we were saying Happy New Year. And now we're in crunch time. Now, what happens when you get into crunch time? You don't sit in the corner and cry. You put your sneakers on so you can make the subway. You put your sneakers on so you can make that mad dash to the end. And some of us making the mad dash to the cash. We're making the mad dash for the cake. We're making the mad dash so that we make sure we get to the end and complete the goal. 65 days, y'all. It seems like we could either take the opportunity and sit and say all of the things that we didn't do, or see the setup that's right here in our world. You can do a whole album in 65 days. I don't know how many songs you'll get on it, but if you get it in there, you'll get it in there. You can set new goals in 65 days. All it takes is for you to make the commitment to make the change. Listen, last week we had just wellness advocate and extraordinaire Veronica Moore come in and remind us, right, the gift of the no and the things that we are able to put into our lives when we say no to the things that will not serve us in this season. But now it's harvest season. You can't, we're going to put the heels in the backpack, right? Because when we need them, we'll take them out. But now it's time for us to put our sneakers on so that we could be about some serious business. We can get the yoga. We can have the wellness. We can do the things that is going to set us up for future success. And the biggest thing for us is in this season, we cannot be bystanders. You don't need any shoes on if you're just going to be a bystander. But when you put those sneakers on, everybody around you know that it's about to go down. That means you're going to the gym. That means you are going to take that walk. That means you're going to make the moves that are going to make lasting impact in your world. We don't got time for it. Plus, sometimes, when you wear them heels, it might be easy to knock you over. So get your sneakers on. Get your sneakers on. Get ready for the work that needs to be done. But we ain't never scared, right? We're not scared. We're not scared of the work. We're not scared of the opportunities that are coming. I gotta give a shout out to my sister Jackie, because we big up in her, but we're not gaslighting her. I need you to know, like, these are all real words as we encourage her, because our plan for 2025, come on, to be on somebody's runway. And now we get to celebrate her. So when I tell you put your sneakers on, go back, right? Think bigger. Think about the things that you think in your mind, they're not even on your list. It wasn't even a possibility in 2024, but we still got 65 days in 2025, not only to be number one runway models, come on, but to be the blueprint for those that need to move further in their world. Put your sneakers on, y'all. We going somewhere. Tilt it back at you.
All right, all right, all right. Well, you know, I got a whole collection of Pumas over there. Y'all can't see them, but they are all nicely boxed back. I stay ready with some sneakers. And it looks like we're at the end of tonight's broadcast, Karen.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to say thank you, Rhonda, Bliv, Marisol, Jackie, Karen, Shelby, for joining us on the platform tonight. Always a wonderful time with you all, whether we are broadcasting or somewhere in real life shenanigating the way we do. I got to get to this week's Just Be outro, don't I? So, hey, I guess we stay on that frequency, Karen, because you put me in the mindset of to just be. This week, I got to invite everyone in the listening audience to just be ready. Just be ready so you ain't got to get ready. Listen, I came through dripping at the Interstar Trailblazer Awards this year, styled by our very own Shelby Lawson of Lawson Accessories. So I was ready when even before I knew I was going to run into Brother Elijah and he was going to ask me to join him on stage. I was ready. Why? Because I started the prep 2-3 months prior to the night of all nights. Just be ready so you ain't got to get ready. I'm talking about some of my own testimony, maybe as a word of encouragement to some of you all in our listening audience. Years ago, when I first joined the radio family and broadcasting and such, there was one question I was asked when I was given the offer, and that was, did I have a radio moniker? And you know, some people, we like to pick a name. It might take 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months. But I immediately responded, Tilted Halo. What the gentleman didn't know was I had written that down in a journal 10 years prior. It dropped in my spirit. Y'all know how I get these downloads. So I wrote it down and said, let me write that down because it's unique and I may need to use it one day. I didn't know them years prior that it would become my radio moniker and then ultimately Tilted Halo Broadcast Media Entertainment LLC. My brainchild, my business that I was able to birth through the broadcasting things. Listen, just be ready so you ain't got to get ready. Now, even if it's not with you achieving a goal that you set in your life, just be ready with a kind word for someone. Just be ready to sit and be a support with someone, because as you encouraged us, Karen, we at the tail end stretch of 2025, and we got some very strange looking things on the horizon. Just be ready. But as you prepare, make sure that you bow your knee to the higher power, the one who is capable of doing all things but failing. Listen, his spirit rests in you. And because his spirit rests in you, you are able to do all things. Yeah, I said it. So let me be the reminder for you tonight. Just be ready with the word of encouragement. Just be ready with the word of prayer. And just be ready with the divine strategy that God gives you for you to attain the goal and the prize that's been predestined for your life. Just be ready so you ain't got to get ready. This is Unhinged Live, and I'm your girl, Tilted Halo. Many of you all know me in these streets as your girl, Nikita Hansford, and I'm sitting alongside my very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell, Coach Cash herself, Twisted Threads LLC. I got my boo, Bliv Mash Time. His future so bright that he had to wear his shades on the show tonight. I got my girl Marisol of Girl Talk Nails LLC. I got my girl Rhonda Thomas Boo BB Mind Over Matter LLC. And I got my little sister with me, and she don't play about me, y'all. And what y'all think? Jackie just up here looking pretty because she is gorgeous. But listen, young people succeeding is her thing. Plus a whole lot more. Did y'all know she a football mom too? But we're gonna get more into getting to know Jackie further down the line as we continue to broadcast together. I think I need to stop talking and end the show. All right. So listen, we'll be back next week with yet another entertaining and exciting guest. I know you don't want to miss it. And if you want to ensure that you don't miss it, go on over there to them YouTube channels. All right. They're all listed by name on the flyer, so you could know exactly where to go to hit like and subscribe. And if you feel like it and you're shy now, go ahead and share it with somebody because we're going places. And as Marisol so eloquently reminded us tonight, we are after all of the zip codes and all of the area codes God has for us. As you see, we are a collective birthed in prayer and in love. And like a mighty fist, we're more powerful together. All right. It's Unhinged Live. And it's a wrap. Thank you, Karen. You the bomb. Peace.